Hey guys, Ryan here, and welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft survival. And this episode is episode 25, which does mean that it's time for the world tour. But before we get started on that, I suppose the first thing I should mention is you could probably notice by my hotbar, most of my stuff is gone. So shortly after last episode, I went back to the Nether to try and record myself getting some wither skeleton skulls. Basically, what happened was, we spent all of last episode looking for wither skeletons, and after I finished recording, I found about 7 or so. None of them dropped skulls, but anyway. Fell in lava, lost all of my stuff. So, everything we had on us, including my enchanted diamond sword, pickaxes, axe, shovel, everything that we had on us in the last episode is gone. So I've spent the past few days since I recorded the last episode trying to get everything back. Haven't finished yet, but just figured I'd point that out. And also, I wanted to mention a few things about where episodes have been of Crafting Dead and Fear the Crafting Dead. I mentioned it briefly last episode, but I'm going to say it again this episode. Wasn't an episode on Sunday. I wasn't sure if there was going to be one or not of Fear on Sunday. There wasn't in the end. It's mostly due to the fact that with everything going on at the minute, I've been struggling to stay sort of motivated and also been struggling to find the time to record the episodes. So I've just sort of decided that I either record the episodes with the risk of a load of background noise or banging or talking in the background, or I don't record them at all. So I think I'd rather have some background noise than not upload videos at all. So hopefully it shouldn't last too long, only as long as this whole coronavirus thing lasts, which hopefully won't be too long, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to try and continue to upload as much as I can whenever I can, so my schedule is probably going to be a bit all over the place over the next few weeks or so, and I'll do my best to try and stick to it. But anyway, let's start this world tour, I suppose, after 2 minutes of the video being started. So, we are starting where, well actually I suppose this isn't where we started, but this was our first official starter house. This is our lovely little log cabin. Let's press F1 and we can go. Should we put the schematic? Oh yeah, look at that, the cinematic camera, not the schematic camera. Turn the cinematic camera on. So, this is our very first house that we ever built, our lovely little log cabin. The story behind this one was that it was passed down from generation to generation. We'll probably be sleeping throughout this episode because it's going to get nighttime. This is probably going to be a bit of a long one. And no editing, I don't think. So, yes, this is our lovely log cabin. We've got our lovely fireplace, our bed, which still hasn't been dyed. I think I'm just going to keep it white at this point. We've got a table, our lovely purple carpet, which we got all the way from the Spruce Village way off in that direction. And we've got our lovely kitchen area if we come over this way. And we will go through and show off all of our cats. So this right here is Coco. This is Moonlight, this is Cleopatra, and this is Ghost. And then, if we make... Oh, it's nighttime, better sleep. Okay, didn't think it'd be nighttime that soon, but... Hey, doesn't really matter. Hopefully there won't be any monsters about, but if there is, we'll have to handle them. Now, if we make our way out, we can see our lovely view from our front decking, which is quite nice, actually. Or our front porch, whatever you decide to call it. Very nice view, not much to look at, a load of trees, a few of our builds off in that way. There will be a much better view in the future when I actually get around to building it, but then, if we make our way off the porch, we've got our grey cat here named Fang, then we've got our cat named Trilo, then over here we have Soots, Blaze and Garfies, both, or all 3 of these were named after cats I have in real life. Garfies sadly passed away, but Soots and Blaze still have. And then this one right here, whose name you can't see because he sat in a rose bush. This is Yin, and over here we have his sister Yang, and then Buddy, of course, named after my dog in real life and Crafting Dead. And there's a creeper. Let's not do that today. Okay. Let's try and kill this guy. Good thing is that he's running away because of the cats. But I probably should get a bow on me at some point. But right now, I don't really have a bow. Okay. Great. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that something like that was going to happen anyway. Well, that's just typical, basically. Well, we'll place those for now, and I guess we'll have to go through and fix that off camera at some point, which is kind of annoying. Anyway, moving on from the explosion, our house is now a little bit destroyed. I'll have to go through and try and fix this. But anyway, let's move on. We'll go into cinematic mode again. We can hear some zombies. There's a cave over here that I do need to light up at some point. Make our way down our path here that isn't fully complete yet, but it's near enough done, I suppose. Now we make our way into our lovely just chest room, I guess we should call it. And then if we make our way in here, there are a few changes in here. There's some villagers in here. I basically was surviving the other night, and 2 zombie villagers together came towards me, so I cured them, brought them into here. So we now have a villager, or a farmer, a farmer villager, so that we can get plenty of good stuff, just like so. We'll put these seeds away. Plenty of good stuff for emeralds, so that's what that guy's for. And then over here, we have a villager which doesn't have the best trades in the world. He has efficiency 3 and some bookshelves, which is pretty cool. We might as well trade some of those bookshelves right now. I know it's a world tour, but we might as well take this detour. He was originally selling me the bookshelf for 3 emeralds. Then he went up to 4 emeralds for some reason. Not sure exactly why, but he did. So yeah, that was our chest room anyway. I just showed that off. I cured those villagers, and they're just sort of there at the minute until I can find somewhere else to put them. But then we'll make our way up here. So yeah, I don't know what that was all about with the guy doing the bookshelves. Actually, you know what? We'll show off our mine down here since we made that before we made that. But yeah, he was trading me 3 emeralds for a bookshelf, which was fine because then I could trade it back to that guy for 3 emeralds, so it's basically the same. But then he went up to 4, which didn't make sense to me because I didn't do anything to make him go higher with the price, but he did anyway. So, I don't know, but now he's down to 2, which means that we can get an extra emerald every time we buy. But this rock has been here since the very start. We did remake it and make it out of mossy, just because I wanted to keep it. And then if we make our way into this room right here, this was where our first ever starter, or this is where we stayed our first night. It's plural, I guess. And we just sort of stayed in here. It has since been changed up quite a bit, and we've decorated it to basically be the mine foreman's area. So we've got a nice little area through here. We've got his lovely toilet, which he still hasn't emptied out. So he kind of needs to get around to that. But yeah, so this is where we stayed our first few nights and slept for the first time in here also, although it has changed a bit since then. So now we can make our way down to our very, very lovely mine. I can hear some skeletons. And the last thing of this world tour that we'll be showing off will be the orcish area. I did build a mock for the first house and the general style, so I'll be showing that off in the end of this episode. But yes, so now we have our lovely, lovely mine, which took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, but I do like how this turned out. I still need to add in some lanterns and stuff instead of torches on the floor, but for now it's just so mobs don't spawn, because I'm more concerned about mobs spawning than anything else. And I'm still kind of annoyed by that creeper blowing up, because it wasn't close enough to me to blow up, but it still did anyway, as most creepers do. But anyway, moving on from that. So this is our lovely mine, which, to be honest, we haven't done much mining on camera. I think we went in this one and did some mining in here, and that was about it. Didn't really find much. But that's about our extent of the mining down there on camera, at least. I've done a little bit off camera. but not much. We are also running out of diamonds, so probably need to get back to mining at some point. But anyway, moving on, let's make our way back up here to where we were going originally. We've got a few custom trees in here. I'm going to be adding in a load more once I get enough supplies to do so. And this house right here belongs to our mending villager, Herschel. So if we make our way in here, he's got a lovely front porch with some flowers here and there. We've got a nice lantern, some bushes growing. I surrounded it with sugarcane, not only because monsters can't see through sugarcane, or at least they're not supposed to be able to, but also because we do paper trades with this guy anyway, so it's kind of made sense to have sugarcane growing outside. So, this is his lovely, humble abode. He does trade some good stuff with us, and if we break this, we can get 3 emeralds back, which is pretty cool. And he hadn't been resetting his trades recently, and the reason for that is because he kept climbing up here and standing on here, but then he'd get stuck and couldn't get down, so he couldn't get to the bed and he couldn't get to the lectern to reset his trades. So I had to put this here. It's a little bit ugly, but I had to do it just to basically show or make it so that he couldn't get stuck up there, so we could trade with him, because he spent about 3 days without resetting his trades, which was kind of annoying. I did bring our other cat, Astrid, up here just to keep Herschel company. He's got a lovely fireplace and just a few random things. I wanted to go for a very natural inspired look, I guess. So that's why there's so many plants and leaves and that kind of thing everywhere. I don't know why I decided on that. I just thought it would look kind of nice and I wanted to try it, and I like how it turned out. So that is Herschel's lovely house. But then if we come around the back, we do have a nice little pond here, which was an original pond here, just Minecraft generated, but then I did change it a little bit and change the shape of it. I'm working on a little area in there. There's not really much in there. I suppose I can show it off just quickly. It's not really much. We're going to go for a bit of a swim real quick. If we swim all the way through here, all it really is just an area, a very small area, I should say, that I've just sort of dug out. There's probably going to be like a little coral reef sort of thing down there. I'm not too sure yet, but I haven't showed that off in an episode, so I will be changing that around soon. But we have got some more sugarcane, and then if we come back here, as you can see, Herschel has got a nice little sugarcane farm growing out back here. And this is just so we can trade with him even more. We have got some paper laying around, which I've been waiting for him to reset his trade so I can trade it with him. So we might as well. We've got a few emeralds, as you can see, 31 emeralds, which is pretty good, 34 now. So he just went indoors, but we'll trade this paper with him, taking a bit of a detour from the world tour, but we'll see how many emeralds we can get. That's 3. I think we can get about 5. Yeah, about 5 from him. Not the best paper trade in the world, but good enough for us because we've got plenty of sugarcane growing all over the place. So we'll make our way back up here. That tree hasn't got any leaves on it yet. I will be adding some leaves. The same goes with this one. I just made sort of the frames for them. We'll put the paper and the emeralds back in there. So yeah, this area is starting to come together very, very nicely. Here is our greenhouse, which we made a few episodes ago. I did add in some water here. I'll break this with my axe, just so that these crops grew a little bit faster, and we didn't really need all this area for the mushrooms. They don't really grow much anyway. But we have got a nice little area, cactus and a birch sapling up on that shelf. Got some carrots, wheat, neverwort potatoes growing on here, which, since we're here, we might as well harvest up. And hopefully these won't turn back to dirt if we plant them quick enough. There we go. And then we'll break these carrots and farm those up. And same goes for this wheat. Since we're here, we might as well make use of the greenhouse, considering this is the whole reason it's there. Then we can put all that stuff away in that chest. And then we can harvest up this neverwort as well, which I'm sure we'll make use of when we start brewing even more. So, yeah, this is our lovely little greenhouse, which I have to say I actually do like quite a bit. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other things I could have done to it, but I do like the way it turned out. We will go up to the enchantment tower at some point, but we need to sleep anyway, so we might as well make our way to my brother's base over here. We have got a few chickens down there. This is where I've been getting most of my chicken from. My brother, it's very, very loud. My brother made a chicken coop over here which collects eggs like crazy. So we had an abundance of eggs, so I figured we'll just make a little area. It's not automatic or anything like that, but it's just a little area so that we can get some cooked chicken whenever we need some. So right now, I mean, I have a decent amount of food. At this current point in time, I think I have like 2 stacks of steak, nearly 3, some golden carrots, and just a little bit of roast chicken, so that'll keep us going for a little while. But yeah, so this is the chicken coop that my brother made. This wasn't made in an episode because this was made when I had this world on my realm. I did go ahead and make a little wheat farm down the back of here because I was breeding up a load of cows, getting a load of food, and getting up a load of leather because I wanted to enchant some books, trying to get my tools back, which is still a work in progress. But then, right here, we have got my brother's little stable area for his horses and my horses and donkey. Leonardo right here, which is our lovely donkey. Lightning, who is our lovely horse, very quick. And then my brother has Thunder over here, which we got for him outside of episode. Didn't do it in an episode. This is one of my brother's dogs, plural. His name is Scar. And then we've got my brother's house right here. Since this world hasn't been back on my realm in ages, my brother hasn't actually made any progress in here. As you can see, he's got a nice little kitchen area, not much going on in the furnaces or anything like this. He has a little bit of storage over here, and I managed to get one of every coloured sheep in his farm, which I'll show off in just a moment. So I've been shearing those up, getting a little bit of wool. If we make our way down here, I did tour this a few episodes ago, but he has a nice little brewing area down here. And then this, after I made the episode and not knowing what this is, I found out that this is actually going to be his bedroom whenever he completes it. So that's going to be his bedroom at some point. So I do like how he designed this area. So it's very, very nice. He went for a rundown look, like with what we did, but he did it in a different way, which is pretty cool. His cows are over here, which, like I said, been breeding up for food and for leather for books. And he's got pens for every type of animal. Over here, he's got 2 pigs. Oh no, there's 3 pigs in there. But he's got a few pigs in there. And then this is where all the sheep are. All 16 coloured sheep are in this area. We might as well, since we're here. This magenta sheep has been stuck in here, but it's still growing its wool. So it can obviously find some grass somewhere nearby, so it can still eat and replenish its wool. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. It can stay in there if it wants to, as long as it's still eating grass. We'll grab up all of this wool, because why not? You never know when we might need it in the future. And this is his main dog, Bully, right here. And then this is his other dog named Bone. He's just got a little crafting table, furnace, and a sawmill just in this area. He had plans to build like a little bridge here, have a little farming area down here, but like I said, this world hasn't been on my realm for a long time, to be honest. So he hasn't actually managed to make any progress on this area, but it is very, very nice. I like it a lot. So we're going to go and put all of this wool away in this chest right here. It's also worth mentioning that this episode is going to be quite late. It's still going to be out on the Monday, but I'm not sure at what time, because at the time I'm recording this, it's already 2 hours late, because, I mean, I woke up later today because there's no point getting up early when all I'm doing is staying inside anyway. We've got our chickens over here, which, to be honest, we might as well gather up. So this is just how I'm doing it. It's very loud. I know, it's very, very loud. But this is all I'm doing it. In these dispensers, I've got flint and steels. I'm pressing the buttons, then getting rid of the fire, but letting it sort of cook the chickens. It's not very nice. I know, it's very inhumane, but it's just getting us the food that we need for right now while we're stocking up on the food that we lost in the Nether, because we did lose quite a bit of food on us, because I don't know why I brought so much, but yes, so this is how we are getting our food. We'll wait for that one, and then we can cook those 2, and just like that, that's how we do it. And then we'd throw the eggs in there, which they haven't really got many of, but as you can see, got quite a bit of chicken, so they haven't really been getting any eggs, but they do sometimes lay eggs because I leave them for longer than I plan to. But then I come and grab the eggs from in here anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. We can leave that empty for now. But let's make our way over here. I realise we're 20 minutes in and we haven't explored everything yet. There's even something over there that hasn't ever been shown off in a video, which I'll show off at some point. I had an idea to like revamp a village off camera and have it like a little project for me to be doing off camera. There is a fox in this area which has been killing a load of chickens, and I'm slightly worried about Jackin in there, but I think as long as Jackin stays in the cabin, this fox out here shouldn't kill him. But if this fox does kill him, then I will kill the fox. And I don't want to do that because they're adorable. So as long as the fox stays away from Jackin, everything will be fine. We've got our 4, I was going to say pigeons, parrots. We have every single colour except for green, so we'll try and get a green one at some point. There's a random sheep back here, not sure why. But this is our old overgrown enchanting cabin. Jackin is still alive and well in here. How you doing, buddy? He's got a nice little area. The idea was that he was either a witch or a warlock or something, or someone practicing magic. Ended up, thank you, turning himself into a chicken. So, and there's now, oh, okay, get in, because I don't want the chicken eating you. You can be Jackin's pet chicken. Because he's a chicken, yes, but he was technically not a chicken beforehand, but you're his pet chicken. Anyway, moving on. This is our diamond armor, which I'm still working on. This is all of our lapis. We've got a load of stuff. This is where I've been trying to get all of our stuff back. As you can see, I'm doing pretty well. Efficiency 4, fortune 3, I'm breaking. So that's pretty much done. We have a silk touch pickaxe. We've got our axes. They're doing pretty well as well. Shovels 2. Swords, I'm currently working on. They're taking a little while. No, I do not want to delete a previous version of Windows. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't expect that to pop up. Need to find out how to silence notifications on my laptop, but we're also still working on the armor, like I said. Working on the tools, just seeing what we can get. We've got a load of books over here. I'm breaking a load more books in here, and in here as well. This is all the books we need for our sword, for the most part. I did have a pretty good sword, but then it was too expensive to finish, so I couldn't get everything on it that I wanted. So I'm still working on getting all of those books together. Let's ding this bell, because why not? Ding ding, like that. And that's pretty much this enchanting area. So we'll leave Jackin and his pet chicken be. Don't leave, thank you. And now it's starting to get to nighttime once more, but since we're in this area and we're pretty much done, so we're going to have to make our way over to the fishing hut. There are a few more things in this area that I could show off, which we will show off. But let's show off something that I've never showed off. I was saving it to show off in the world tour. We will be building something around it at some point. And it's this. 2 bubble columns. This goes up, this one goes down. And this, you may have heard me mention in a few episodes, we have a skeleton grinder. We have plenty of armor and bones and arrows down here, so we don't need to worry about having an infinity bow, because we've got an abundance of arrows. This is all of our stuff. I'm trying to get full set of chainmail armor, because it's kind of my favourite armor. Got loads of books that I've got from just enchanting every now and again. Once again, trying to get my tools back. But these will start spawning in just a moment. As you can see in this, we have plenty of stuff, plenty of arrows, because they're not going. I can't go down any further. Well, I can go a little bit further down, but because we're at bedrock, can't really go much further down. This is full of bones and arrows, bones and arrows, bones and arrows, or arrows, nearly full of bones as well. So we're just making do with what we've got. I will unenchant this bow. This is where I throw all the bows, because we don't really have a use for them at all, because I don't really use a bow. We will use a bow at some point. These skeletons are 2 hits. I know it's not one shot, but it's something, and it does the job pretty well. So, now that I've shown off that, it's not much. It really isn't much. But, since we have an abundance of bones and arrows, like I said, we don't need an infinite bow now. And the bones, we basically got infinite bone meal now as well, and bone blocks too. So I have decided I'm going to be integrating bone blocks into the Orcish area, because if you Google Orcish villages or Orcish style houses, you'll find that the most common thing amongst all of them are that there's a lot of, like, bones, like dinosaur bones and just random bones in general, to be fair. So they're going to be a big part of the build, although I am using diorite for the actual bones. You'll see what I mean in just a moment when I show that off. Sweet is still doing fine. Our first fish we picked up in a bucket, which I decided to add into this pond. We will put Sweet somewhere else eventually, but right now this is where she's living, or he. I don't know which one. I did cut down some trees because they were kind of getting in the way. Started a little pumpkin farm because our villager trades one pumpkin for an emerald, which is incredible. I will be doing an automatic pumpkin farm and melon farm at some point. Not sure exactly when, but the plan is to build one of those. So we've got this nice little farming area. This is where we get most of our supplied sugarcane and stuff like that. If we farm up all of this sugarcane when it's fully grown, we get a nice even 60 sugarcane, which is quite useful, to be fair. That makes 10 books, I believe. Or 20 books. Yeah, no, that makes 20 books. Not bad. Not bad at all, if we have 20 leather anyway. So then, we'll make our way through here. There's quite a few creeper holes everywhere. Here and there, I guess, is what I was trying to say. But this is where we spawned in. We spawned in right here in this area. It's starting to become nighttime again. I did have a little bit of a cow farm down here. I believe it's empty now. And I took... Oh no, the bucket's still in there. But yeah, this is where we had a little cow farm for a little while. This is where we were getting most of our leather. But then my brother built up a farm, so I figured, hey, why not just use that area? This is where I used to fish, but then we built our lovely fishing hut up here. If we make our way over that way, we'll sleep in there also. We haven't got a path coming out here yet, but there will be at some point. But right now, there isn't. And this is our lovely little fishing hut. It's nothing big, it's nothing crazy. But it's just to keep us going, really. Just a nice little area where we can fish. Our fishing rod is in here. It's basically the perfect fishing rod you can get. But I'll either sit out here on our nice little chair and fish into the water if I feel like actually being there while fishing. But if not, then I just make my way down this scaffolding right here to our AFK fish farm, which I don't really use very often. But I definitely need to before they get patched in the newest update. So I need to make the most of this while I can still use it. But we haven't really got much. I say we haven't really got much, and then there's all of this stuff in here. When I say we haven't really got much, I mean not much of the stuff I need, really. I'm looking for, like, efficiency books and unbreaking books and things like that. Fortune's pretty good, but it's only Fortune 2. And like I said, bows really aren't a problem. Fishing rods aren't really a problem. I'll probably end up enchanting all of this, but the main reason I use this is for name tags. I genuinely couldn't care less about everything else. It's just the name tags, because I'm obsessed with pets in this game, and keeping pets, and saddles too are always useful. But that's literally all we have down there. It's really not much, but it does the job nicely. So, now that we've shown that off, I believe that is everything we've built in this world so far. For the time being, squids are making noises. I have a little kelp farm down there. I just planted some. I just gather it up every once in a while. It's not much. It's nothing efficient. It just grows, and I just round it up whenever I get a chance. But since that is everything we've built so far, I believe, we're not going to show off all the villagers because that's kind of pointless, because they're not really anything we've built. So we're going to make our way over into the swamp. So this is where we're going to be spending quite a bit of the next 20 or so episodes, I suppose, working on this orcish village. I did plant a load of oak trees because we're going to be needing quite a bit of oak wood for this village. I planted some sugarcane as well because I figured, well, if they live in a swamp, what are the main things that they'd be growing? Or farming, I guess. And I came to the idea that they wouldn't grow wheat, right? They'd probably grow potatoes, because potatoes grow in most climates, I suppose. And just carrots, although orcs, to me, don't really seem like they'd be much of farmers. They'd be much more hunters, I guess. So there's going to be a lot of animal farms here. Sugarcane, just here and there for decoration, but also so we can gather it up. But if we make our way over here, you can see a glimpse of it right through these trees, but we'll make our way over there. So they're going to have a lot of sheep because I need a lot of wool. So this is the style that we're going for. You can see the green wood. I retextured the jungle wood to make it green instead of the pinky colour, which I think is quite nice. Got some sheep over here because I needed some green wool and stuff, so there is going to be a lot of sheep farms, a lot of pig farms, maybe some cow farms in this area. But this is the style we're going for. So this diorite, the idea is that these are the bones sticking up out of the ground. I don't know, maybe they fought off a dragon or something, and this is like just one of the bones. They just stuck it out of the ground, or in the ground, so it's sticking out, and built or use those as the foundations of their houses, I suppose. So this is the style I decided to go for. I tried to come up with it for just myself. The same with the fairy pixie area. Haven't worked out a style quite yet, but I'm still working on it. I think I'm going to save that area until the new Nether update comes out, because I'm thinking I want to use a lot of warped and crimson wood because of the vibrant colours that they have. Maybe some acacia too, because that's bright orange. I want to use a lot of bright colours and pastels over there, so we'll see what I can work out for that. But the idea of this, when I looked up some concept art and some inspiration for the orcish area, oh, my game paused. Sorry about that, abrupt cut. My computer decided that I didn't have enough space to continue recording, and basically nearly just crashed when I tried to delete some stuff. So sorry about that, very abrupt cut. But like I was saying, mushroom top house, it's a very simple style all in all. It's just on the stilts, which are supported by these bones, which I know are diorite and it doesn't look the nicest in the world, but I think you can still see what they're meant to be. I just fell in a hole, of course I did. We'll break that, place that there. But yeah, I think you can still tell what it's meant to be with the bones. And I just came up here. There's not much, it's just a little bit of texturing, some spruce trapdoors, slabs, and oak slabs. Spruce, not spruce, dark oak for the doors. I made them quite big because, of course, orcs are quite tall, or at least in the way I imagine them, they're quite tall, so a small door like this wouldn't be big enough for those. And then there's not much in here, but I added in a little bit of decoration. I will be adding in some more. I just wanted to do the general idea for it. There is a lantern here. The idea is that they wouldn't really have technology, I suppose, although they nowhere in the world really would. But either way, I'd imagine that they'd have a lot of fire and torches and lanterns and things like that to keep the area sort of lit up. No sort of redstone lights or anything like that, although I'm not sure I'd really use those much anyway. But, so they've got a nice chandelier. The idea is that this is like maybe the chief's area, or the leader of the tribe of orcs, or whatever we decide to call it. So that's why they got a fancy chandelier, or chandelier. Chandelure is the Pokemon. This is a chandelier. Anyway, moving on. Nice little bedstand. I didn't want the top of the barrel showing, so this is where I did the tip of turning it upside down, so we just get that spruce texture, or the planks texture, with a nice little potted plant on the top, and green bed, of course. So, I do have quite a few ideas for this area. Like I said, we've got a little bit of supplies here to just get us started, really, but we will, of course, get some more. But, with that being shown off, that does conclude this episode and this tour. And it was actually surprisingly shorter than I thought it would be. Half an hour. I know what you're thinking. Half an hour isn't that short. I know, but I kind of thought it might be a little bit longer. But either way, I'm sure it'll be a lot longer as the series goes on. The next tour will probably be at episode 50, maybe, something like that. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching and sticking with me in my times of not uploading, as I usually do. I hope you have enjoyed this tour. I know it's been a lot of talking and getting distracted, as usual. I think that's just the norm around here now. But if you have enjoyed, make sure you stick around for the next episode or video, which hopefully should be out very, very soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!